Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Oliver Joyce from Whiskeybarrel Studios, and it's the 22nd of December. And that means 3 days till Christmas. Hence, the hilarious hat. The old standout. It actually keeps your head warm. It's not something you really want in summer in Australia. It's been a bit of a crazy year, 2022, just like the last few years. Every year gets a little crazier than the last. I'm sure you guys can empathize with that. This year, on a professional level, was a pretty big year in terms of getting Swords and Sandals 6 Immortals. Where am I? What year is this? Getting Immortals into early access in May, and in about a month's time or so, the game will be finished in full launch. So that'll be coming up on 2 years, and that marks the longest project I've ever worked on. Just eclipsing Swords and Sandals 5. See, I knew Swords and Sandals 5 would come into the conversation somewhere. I was getting ahead of myself. But yeah, big project, and really kind of went out of scope a little. I mean, I put so much stuff in there that only the most sort of hardcore fans will see, and lots of Easter eggs and lots of things to enjoy. And the funny thing is, I find that the more stuff I add to the game, it doesn't really increase sales or reviews or anything like that, but it does make the game more complete in my eyes, and hopefully a better experience for the fans who've already bought the game. And ultimately that's all you can do as a game developer, is make the best game you can in the time you have. And I'm really happy with how the game has turned out, and I'm looking forward to parking it and wrapping it up. Multiplayer, of course, is coming in January, and I'm just doing a couple little patches this last week or so. You probably have seen a lot of updates. Today I've got a little update which will be kind of fun for you guys, just in terms of you can finally adjust the cameras in Swords and Sandals Immortals, so you can kind of have a camera that follows you, camera that follows the enemy, sort of a snap between players camera, that kind of thing. And I'm working on a zoomed out camera so you can kind of see everybody in a widescreen format. Long time coming. I've been meaning to put that in for years, nearly since the start of the project. So for some reason it just kept eluding me, but since I've basically finished everything else content-wise for the game, single player content is completely done, I thought that would be a fun addition. I just also wanted to take the time just to say thank you guys for being fans of Swords and Sandals, for being fans of Whiskeybarrel Studios, and for supporting me in my game dev journey as an indie developer. I've been independent full-time for, is it 3 years now? I'm losing track. I think it might only be 2 years, but we're going to the 3rd year. And of course before that I was doing it part-time. Whiskeybarrel Studios actually set up in December of 2013 under quite torrid circumstances, and I'm quite proud to still be here some 9 years later. And in 2023, this time in a year, it'll be 10 years since I set Whiskeybarrel Studios up. Obviously it was something I did part-time and freelanced and that kind of thing. Many nights and weekends doing this before I was able to do it part-time, and then eventually kind of roll it through to where you see now, which in the long term I'm only sort of as good as my last game, so who knows if in a year or two's time I'll still be doing this full time. This is an absolute pleasure and a privilege, and this has been every Christmas present all at once to be able to do this. And for as long as I can make the game dev journey last, I'll be doing that. Even if I have to go back and do a part-time, if the game sales drop off, who knows? Like, Immortals has done pretty well. It hasn't been the mega hit I'd hoped, but you never know what happens with full launch, so fingers crossed with that. Your reviews always help as well. I'm at about 445 reviews now. If I can get to 400, and if I can get to 500 by the time the game's in full launch, that will really help. That's just a symbolic milestone. It might not seem like a lot because you see some games out there with thousands and 10,000, hundreds of thousands of reviews for some of the mega hits, but honestly, most games on Steam don't even get 10 reviews. Most games have not enough reviews to count. It's really hard to get your game noticed, and even though Swords and Sandals sounds like a familiar brand to you guys, obviously, you followed me on the channel, it's still pretty small in the scheme of things. And so every time I have a game that does well, I'm thankful. I mean, you look at Spartacus and Crusader. Spartacus only had something like 18 reviews or something, 20 reviews, something crazy. Crusader had something like 60 or 70. So I'm grateful for having something that's been 10 times more successful than that. Not quite at the levels of Classic Collection yet, but I'm gunning for you. I want you guys to have a wonderful holiday break, whatever you're up to, with your family, without your family. If you're not with your family, hopefully you can reach out to a friend, get some time together with them. If your friends are all online, get online and say hi to each other, and wish each other some good cheer, because it's cliche, but for all the good cheer of Christmas, it can be a really lonely time for a lot of people, and it's also a time of reflection. And for better or worse, you never know what your Christmas is gonna sort of mean for you. And for a lot of people, it's like, whoa, that wasn't a good year, and I just want to get it over with. And sometimes just seeing all the the Christmas hats and the all I want for Christmas is you blaring through every supermarket, it can be a bit full on for a lot of people. So for those people, you should know you're not alone. If you're a Swords and Sandals fan, join the Discord. I am at Oliver there. Hit me up. I'll say hi to you. Always happy to chat, no matter what it's about. And you guys aren't alone, even if sometimes it feels like you are. I'd like to do another video around about New Year's to sort of talk about next year and New Year's resolutions and what I plan personally and professionally and whatever. And at some point in the new year too, I'd like to throw out another Ask Me Anything video, because it's been a while since we've done one of those. I've been doing a lot of those in the Discord, but it's always fun to get out and sit down and actually answer the fan questions in real time, because it makes me think about the answers and like, oh, that was weird. So one other thing, winter sale starts tomorrow. Actually, it's probably today. By the time you see this video, the winter sale should have started on Steam. So great chance to get any games you like, including, of course, Swords and Sandals Immortals, and the other games. They'll all have good discounts on them. It's a perfect gift. Basically, your grandma, your grandpa, the kid down the road, your teacher, everyone's going to love it. Grandmas especially love playing Swords and Sandals. They're a big fan of Haxopods, and they love the Yarans. They think they're pretty cute. So I think your grandma would love this game. Get it for her. Get the soundtrack, because nothing says Christmas like the Swords and Sandals Gladiator theme song. Nice echoey room here. I'm actually in I'm at the kitchen bench here, and there's that little Christmas tree behind me. We actually went and got a live tree this year. It was kind of fun. It's a bit of an extravagance, but while the kids are young, they kind of really appreciate it, and it's a small price to pay for a bit of fun at Christmas. All right, my friends, until next time, new patch coming today or tomorrow. And if you haven't played the game in a while, do check it out. There's been tons of balancing and bug fixing. There's a new mysterious stranger who's arrived on the world map. It may be familiar for Swords and Sandals fans. You can now unenchant items in the Forge and the Enchanters. There is a lot of stuff that's been packed in. Check out the patch notes. And thanks to all those guys on Discord who've been really, diligently finding bugs and reporting to me and just testing the game out way more than I ever could. These guys play the game like crazy. I play the game in little bits to test out things, but these guys play from start to finish and then say, this is wrong, this is not balanced, or whatever. So, invaluable. Final shout out, of course, to the Patreons. I'm going to write you guys a special Christmas message, maybe some love poetry or something, just to say thanks. You guys are the best. Thanks for supporting me this year. A small but hearty bunch. You know who you are. I don't have the list in front of me. I've got a Christmas card that my son made, blank, but no patron names on there. So thank you to you guys. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hey ho, hip hop hooray, and Merry Christmas, and to all a good night. Cheers, everybody. Bye for now.